Okay, final segment with James Evan Pilato, Luke Radowski coming up next hour. This is the Bob Tuskin Show. James, a breakdown of the other stories, the more important stories than this Obama distraction. Go right ahead.
Well, I know one thing we do want to mention that is that, of course, Pacific radiation levels keep rising. That's right. There's that
Oh yeah, radiation. I forgot
ongoing
about that.
nuclear crisis that has never stopped, but we only just stopped paying attention to it. That's an unfortunate, I think, side effect of, again, so much media and so much coverage given to one thing that, again, the average person watching TV at some point, whether it is a sitcom or a real news story, at some point they're going to go, I'm bored. What else is on?
I mean, it's almost as bad as the Michael Jackson and Anna Nicole Smith distraction. It's like the mainstream media will spend a solid 2 months after the death of one of their icons.
Well, because they have to have a 24/7 spew of content, so they need crap to keep it rolling,
Sure,
basically.
sure.
But
In
let's
addition
actually.
to
Sorry.
MediaMonarchy.com, you have several other websites. We'll take a quick look at some of the various stories, including your site Food World Order. Great website.
Thank you. So on Food World Order, the top of the page right now is a piece from the fantastic foodfreedom.wordpress.com. Sebelius-backed biotech firm reorganizing under criminal probe. The head of Health and Human Services not only denies that Americans have a right to bodily health and food of their own choice, but Kathleen Sebelius is hell-bent on spending taxpayer money to promote genetically modified food and drugs. One of her projects, Kansas Bioscience Authority, a publicly funded venture enterprise developed to promote biotechnology, is currently under criminal investigation, and their CEO has resigned. So those are the kind of, again, great folks that have been brought into the Obama-Saya cabinet. But some of the other stories on Food World Order: Colorado may join the cottage foods movement as communities are starting to fight back against, this is my food. If I want to give food or trade or barter with my neighbor for other food, that's our business as sovereign citizens.
You would think,
You
but
would
the
think.
Food and Modernization Safety Act recently is going after people for that kind of thing. And I always grow in abundance with my garden, so that I always have more than enough, and I have to end up giving away a lot of it. And to think that I won't be able to give it away is a very scary thought, and is absolutely a big part of the plan.
Absolutely. So a
So,
couple of the other things, the feds are still busting the dastardly Amish for selling raw milk. And McDonald's hired 62,000 people for minimum wage part-time jobs and turned away nearly 1 million applicants. That, again, that's what we've come to.
wow. So that many people are trying to get a job for minimum wage at McDonald's. And most of those people eat the food there because they give you an employee meal, and then you end up eating the food there.
Yep.
And this is something that people don't realize sometimes, that the lower income, the worse off you're eating.
I noticed that at the grocery store that I work at, that again, we're kind of a natural foods type grocery store, but we also carry Coca-Cola and Snickers, as well as fantastic, independent, locally cultivated, fresh foods and products. But I'd noticed that the WIC, the Women, Infant, Children program,
Uh-huh.
is all the worst crap. It's always the worst white bread on the bottom shelf. It's the worst, Gerber baby food, and that's exactly what you're talking about. It's basically a soft eugenics.
Yeah, don't forget government cheese. Yummy.
So
Processed, nasty goodness for the useless eaters and goyim out there.
oh, and of course, Prince Charles is coming to D.C. for a sustainability conference.
Wow, what is he sustaining? His
Yeah.
evil pedophile ways?
Let's shift gears entirely and hop over to another site, cyberspacewar.com. And top of the page is a story from Anti-Fascist Calling. As smartphone scandal grows, tech firms run for cover. Yes, the big surprise that all our quote-unquote smartphones have been spying on us. But there's another article, actually an original piece from my main writer and editor on cyberspacewar.com, my man Alan in Omaha, FBI tracking suspects online, according to a FOIA request by EFF and reported by Raw Story. Yeah, surprise, surprise. They're getting into your computer via the IP address, MAC address, ports, all of those things. Again, shouldn't really come as a surprise, but they're unveiling it all for us, I guess.
It's scary stuff.
Finally, the newest site in the media monarchy kingdom is called holyhexes.com, where I go over the occult.
Holy hexes.
Holyhexes.com. You like that?
Yeah, I think that's a great name. And you always pick the best names for your websites, it seems. So we got Food World Order, Media Monarchy, all good titles for a website. And it seems like this is the site that's going to like the show we do tomorrow night with Christopher Everard. He's got a lot of great information on the occult that we'll be presenting tomorrow with a great show. Check out the update on the website, bobtuskin.com. It's on the front page, and you'll see a little bit more about that. But what's going on with that site?
So the top of the page is obviously lighter news. The Book of Mormon leads the Tony Award nominations, which is the kind of theater awards. But the Book of Mormon is a show from the South Park guys about Mormonism. And I think much like they did on South Park exposing Scientology with, the words at the bottom saying, this is what they actually believe. I think this is basically a big Broadway musical version of it. Exactly how scathing it is into Joseph Smith and, of course, their alchemy and occult, astrotheology and entheogens and all of those things. I don't know how much it gets into that. I doubt it, but
interesting.
Absolutely.
Now, I heard a while back that I read a book, actually, and, geez, I'll be darned if I can remember the title, but it was about the fact that John Smith was basically a scam artist.
I'm sure, and that to me is just another connection you can make to L. Ron Hubbard, who was also a scam artist, but also all connected to the occult. Of course,
they're all into the occult, and they're all about controlling people, and it goes back thousands of years, all the way back to Samaria, as we covered with Michael Tillinger on the program last week.
So, man, I know we're probably running out of time here. I know one thing I would just want to throw out as you're about to bring on Luke is I would throw out the thanks to him and, commend him for the video. Don't look back or just keep moving. You got nothing to lose.
I like that. That was cool.
It was fantastic. And it made the rounds from, people like Roger Ebert tweeting about it to friends of mine who I know, who, again, as I referenced, never met an official story they don't love. They had posted it on their Facebook page, and I was like, this is from one of those crazy 9/11 conspiracy theorists you hate.
That's cool. We'll talk about that with him. Thanks so much for coming on the show today, James.
Brother, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.